Welcome back. We're about to switch gears from politics and the nation to talk about something that does affect the nation, but this time affects the people and particularly health and children. Now, to speak to us on this is a three-time published author. She's a lawyer with an degree in international law, a master's in international law. She's also given to working with charity organizations with a specific focus on cerebral palsy. Now, this lady has a personal interest in pursuing this line because she was born with cerebral palsy but has been able to lead beyond this to achieving her full potential. She has worked with 60 families across 12 states in Nigeria who want to include their children in mainstream education even though they have cerebral palsy, and she's here to tell you that you can live your best life even though you've been diagnosed with cerebral palsy. She's a hero in every sense of the word. Please make very welcome TOBILOBA Ajayi, the founder of Let's CP Kids Learn. Hello, Toby. How are you doing?
Hi, it's good to be here.
Good to have you here. Thank you very much indeed for coming. Now, we've had you on the set before.
Yes,
and you were generous enough to share your story, bold enough. I've seen you on so many platforms, and you always wow me. You never cease to amaze me. You know, you inspire so many people. Now, I won't go into that because we have a limited time to talk about this. You work with charity organizations, and only recently you started yours called Let CP Kids Learn.
Yes.
What is cerebral palsy? Because I think we need to lay that foundation first before we even start to go on.
Okay, so simple definition. So cerebral palsy simply means something that happens as a result of damage to a developing brain somewhere during pregnancy, delivery, or within the first 3 years of life. So damage to the muscle control centers of the developing brain is basically called cerebral palsy. So cerebral for brain, palsy for inability to use muscles. So you would say the inability to use muscles caused by damage to a developing brain within the first 3 years of life. Very
well said. Thank you very much. Now, when you say this, some people might think, well, we don't hear of this very often in Nigeria. Isn't it a foreign condition? What is the percentage of children living with cerebral palsy or adults living with cerebral palsy in Nigeria?
Okay, so I will use the statistics that I have today, which of course we know that data is a problem in Nigeria generally. Yes. But as of today, 1 in every 90 live births in Nigeria results in cerebral palsy.
That is more than 10% of Nigerians.
Oh, well, you can do the math.
Wow. Yes. All right. So more than 10% of Nigeria. So obviously we need to be talking about this.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned that some of the reasons why we don't even identify cerebral palsy is that it's given a lot of names.
Yes.
So what have you encountered? What do people usually refer to it as?
Okay, because cerebral palsy affects each person differently, if you line up 15 people with cerebral palsy, you will see 15 different things. And so is there
any commonality?
The one commonality is that there will be some issue with the use of muscles. Okay. So it might be that some people may be unable to walk. It might just be that some people are unable to talk, or they have slurred speech. Because the truth is that everything in your body is controlled by muscles, including your ability to see and hear. And so we will all have different things that manifest as a result of this damage to the brain. And because it manifests differently, it's called different things. So I've heard people call some of the kids retarded, imbecile. I have heard different kind of names. And especially if you now go to the grassroots, it's just nicknamed different things. Or, that child that something is just wrong with the child's legs, or something is just wrong with the child's body. And it's never really given a name. And we can be complacent as a people, then we make it just spiritual.
I was going to say, and our traditional beliefs wouldn't help in many
instances. And then we're very spiritual anyway, so we would make it a spiritual issue. Or the child has a demon, or the child needs deliverance, or they just need to take the child to some mountain, and the child is going to get healed. And so because of that, a lot of parents live in denial, probably thinking there's some spiritual issue, and so never get diagnosis. And therefore, nobody really talks about it.
All right. Now, you are here to talk about it, and I'm really glad because I hope you give other Nigerians a voice to speak about this as well. With regards to CP, you have shown with your life that you can live a normal life.
Yes.
Despite the fact that you might have some challenges with using your muscles.
Yes.
So tell us just very briefly, your experience, what you've achieved. I read a very impressive CV, and I haven't even done her justice. She's written 3 books. She studied law. She went to the University of Hertfordshire to get a master's in international law, and now she's a champion and advocate for people living with disabilities. So tell us, how have you been able to do all these things, and how easy has it been?
Oh, well, easy doesn't even, I mean, take out easy from the equation. It was hard. It is still hard. It's hard every day because I tell people that the older that I get with cerebral palsy, the more interesting it is because each day is just different. But the thing with this, and I say this all the time if you heard me speak, is that the changing factor for me was my parents. I have very supportive parents and a very supportive family. And early on, my parents said, we're not going to treat you differently. We're going to give you the same opportunities that we give to your siblings. We're going to make allowances for your disability, but your disability is not going to define you.
Good.
And because they did that, I mean, it's what you're raised to believe anyway. I strongly believed that my disability didn't define me. And so that just was the reason I went on to kind of try things. Like I would go mountain climbing with my friends, not because it made any sense to do it, but because, well, yeah, my disability is not supposed to define me. I would go swimming with my friends and we would be like, are you putting yourself in danger? And I'm like, no, it's not dangerous. Everybody else is doing it. But that only came from the standpoint that my parents had given me to say, yes, you have a disability. We agree, we accept, we know, but it's not going to be the definition of what you can or cannot achieve. Yes, the doctors have said you should not be able to do this, but we don't agree, and we will push you and see how you can do it. So you may not do it the way that we do it, but you will do it your own way. Yes. And so I say that to parents all the time. Stop looking for your child to fit that box we call normal. The question is always for me, what do I want to achieve? It doesn't matter how everybody else does it. What's the goal? How can I reach the goal? Use my uniqueness. Yeah. So it might be that, you know, you probably would walk straight down. I might look and say, if I walk that way, I'm going to run into that. So maybe I should go this way, then that way, and get to that same destination.
So find yourself.
Yes.
Determine your end goal and find how you, in your unique state, can get to that goal.
So it doesn't have to be how everybody else gets there. Exactly. It's just about you defining your goal and choosing to get there your own way.
Wonderful. I love that. And I hope that parents are picking a point here. And even for people who are limited in one way or the other, some people's disabilities are in their minds, not even in it's just you not being able to overcome your mindset. And I hope that today it will be broken. Now let's talk about Let CP Kids Learn. Yeah. You started this, and it's because your parents pushed you to learn in mainstream schools in Nigeria. Yes. Not under the best conditions, but they did it. So tell us about Let CP Kids Learn.
Okay, so for me, Let CP Kids Learn was something I like to always say found me. If anybody had told me I would run a non-profit project in my lifetime, I would have said no. I was fine with just working with other organizations. But then in 2016, a lot of parents started to, my story went viral for some reason. And a lot of parents started to come to me who wanted to find out if I had schooled abroad or if my parents, if I was raised abroad. And I kept thinking, I don't know. I was raised in Lagos. Like, I was even raised in what you would call a Lagos slum. I was raised in Abule Egba back in, like, 30 years ago. So, I mean, Abule Egba now is tush. Abule Egba 30 years ago wasn't really tush. And my parents kind of made it work. So what are you people talking about? And they kept saying to us, well, the schools won't take our children. They keep saying our children can't learn with the other children. And I'm thinking, that makes no sense. And it seemed like nobody else saw what I was saying. Like, we're creating a system that continually segregates people. So what's our plan? We don't live in a country with a social system that's going to provide for these kids when they grow up. The only thing that most of us with this limitation will have to sell is our brains. If we do not give these children an opportunity to learn, we will first of all not give them an opportunity to be able to cope in mainstream society when they do grow up, because we're not going to create a separate world for them to live in.
That's right.
So the earlier that we promote inclusion, which is the easiest place, is the early years classroom, because children really don't care. They will ask a couple of questions first couple of weeks. They get used to the fact that the child is different. They move on. But if we continue to segregate, we will never get there. So I started to work with, I mean, for me, it was about just that anger, like, why are we doing this? Why are we keeping children out of school? And so it started like a joke, the first kid, the second kid, the third kid, the fourth kid. And I looked back January of this year and I realized that I had actually done 60 families in 12 states, across Nigeria. Amazing. So I had gotten calls from everywhere.
So you even have telephone consultations.
Yes.
That's brilliant. And I'm really glad because we're looking forward to you continuing to work towards this and ensuring that the prejudice that Nigerians have, dealing with children or adults with disabilities will come to an end. Exactly. And I'm really, really excited you're doing this. Now, if people wanted to contact you or have questions for you or wanted to be part of what you're doing, how can they contact you?
First, I'm pretty much in every single social media platform. Yeah. I'm at TOBILOBA AJAYI pretty much everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I read my DMs. And then Let's CP Kids Learn is pretty much everywhere as well.
So what's it at Let's CP Kids Learn?
At Let's CP Kids Learn.
All right.
On Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. So.
All right. Now, Toby Ajayi and myself have a message for you this afternoon. Let Cerebral Palsy kids learn. Let CP kids learn. On that note, we had to let you go, Toby, but thank you so much indeed, and congratulations on the great work you're doing. We wish you all the best, and we hope you continue to impact the lives of families across Nigeria and very soon Africa and the world as well.
That's the plan.
Thank you.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love her.